And he said, "Rock, can you come over here, please?" And I said, "Nope." I said, I'm not going anywhere." I said, "I was in class yesterday. I'm in class today. I'll be here tomorrow." And he said, "All right, then we're going to come and get you." And I says, "All right." So him and about 4 other patrolmen came in there, and we got into it right there.
I want to know if you could talk a little bit about that high school day, October 7th, 1969.
Shannon, Mr. Shannon.
There's some water there if you want.
He wanted me to go home, and I said, I said, "What? I haven't done anything." "Yeah, but you're what you're saying, you're I said, "All I'm saying is the truth." I said, "I'm not trying to start any trouble or anything like that. Everything because see, one thing I did notice a lot on my own was, why are all my buddies, we're all together at the beginning of the school year, but by Christmas they're all kicked out of school. They're all out of school." And I started wondering, why is that? Is it because they're just not smart, or they're not education material, or what? Well, Corky used to say things like they're miseducating us. We're not being educated at the schools, and so there's not a lot of reason for us to relate to anything that they're teaching at the schools. Everything is based on the white people landing at Plymouth Rock, the first white settlers, and so I would teach that, like, one of the first settlements that were in the United States from Europeans were Spanish settlers, and that wasn't on the eastern seaboard, but it was actually in the southwest. Like in New Mexico, that I forgot the name of the city or the town. That was one of the first settlements in the country, European settlements. And so he wanted to kick me out of school, but I says, "I'm not going to go home." I said, and I had all the Black Berets were all around me. We were walking around the hallways. So he says, "Please go back to your classrooms then." So everyone went to their classrooms, but everyone was expecting something to happen. And sure enough, after I was in algebra class, there was a knock at the door, and a cop was there. It was a lieutenant. And the lieutenant came in, and the teacher let him in, and he says, "I'd like to speak with Rocky, please. We need to talk to Rocky out here." And I looked, and I said, and he said, "Rock, can you come over here, please?" And I said, "Nope." I said, I'm not going anywhere." I said, "I was in class yesterday. I'm in class today. I'll be here tomorrow." And he said, "All right, then we're going to come and get you." And I says, "All right." So him and about 4 other patrolmen came in there, and we got into it right there. There were chairs flying all over the place, and the kids were scattering all over to get out of the way, and they arrested me. And then that was another arrest. Is that what you're talking about? I think that's the one of them.
That was that $1,000 bond?
Something like that, yeah.
And I was like, for a high school student, $1,000 at that time, $1,000? So I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I guess like some others got suspended with you, or
no, it was just me.
You?
Well, wait a minute. They got me first. They got me out of the way, because without me, though no one's there to tell the Berets what to do. so then I think I was in jail for like 2 or 3 weeks. They kept me there. They didn't let me out on bond right away. And that was a violation of my rights. And but what they were doing was they were pulling out each Black Beret separately. They separated us and kicked us all out. I was the only one that they couldn't kick out because I was the only one that hadn't done anything. All the other guys were doing stupid things, you know, fighting back or doing breaking the law. And I was the last one. They didn't have anything on me. But they suspended me from school that day, and from that day on, and then we had to go to court because they wanted to exclude me. I would have been the first student in the history of Colorado to ever be excluded from any school in Colorado, all the schools in Colorado. And we went to court that day. The news media was there, the televisions, the newspaper reporters. That day, Corky showed up. My parents were there. All kinds of students were there. I'm talking like hundreds, and they were all outside the school board building. And then the hearing started. I had like 3 or 4. Corky got 3 or 4 lawyers for me, and then of course the school board had their lawyers too. And the witnesses that they called were teachers, because I was missing a lot of school, and I said it's not my fault, because the teachers are the ones that are pulling me out of class and talking to me. They want to know what's going on, and I missed a lot of classes because of that. And so they got a lot of the witnesses from the teachers on the school board side, and the teachers were all like saying good things about me. So everything was exploding on the school board. And so it ended up that the school board offered me, if I would stop organizing, if I would stop doing what I was doing and saying what I was saying, that they would pay whatever college I wanted to go to, because I was in my senior year. And they said, any school you want to go to in the United States, any college, we're gonna pick up all 4 years for you, room and board, and classes, everything. If you stop doing what you're doing, you've got a lot of potential. We want to do this for you. I stood up. It was my turn to talk. I didn't say anything the whole time. They had like 6 witnesses against me, and none of them really were against me. And so it was my time, and then I said, this is going to come as a slap in the face to each and every one of you board members. I said, but I don't want to go back to your schools. I couldn't, I forgot what I said. But I do remember saying this is going to come as a slap in the face to each of you, but I don't want to go back to your schools. And that was it. The whole place went berserk. The school board members threw up their hands and said, what's this all been, why are we here then, Well, they were trying to kick me out of all the schools in Colorado. It wasn't that they were going to offer me this. They wanted to kick me out first, but they couldn't do it because they didn't have witnesses that said anything bad about it, that I said anything threatening to any of them, because I didn't. I was always a good student. But that's what it ended up. I should have taken their offer, because my family suffered after that. I couldn't find a decent job in Denver or anywhere.
And Pete Shannon was his principal.
What?
Pete Shannon was his principal.
That's what I was. That's what I was telling him. It's too bad he was He wanted me to stop doing what I was doing,
Right.
but I couldn't because it would just continue on.
Yeah.
You know, discrimination and
We had a cause.
we had a cause.
We were willing to die for it.
Yep, we were willing to die.
Some of us.
And the more we learned, the more willing to die we were. And we learned a lot. I did a lot of reading. And I did a lot of listening to Corky when he had his weekly meetings.
Yeah, and